final over at Nuts Corner or Ballymena?
Personally, myself, I would love to see the World Championship coming over here. It's, suppose it's all down to this weekend, show off the track, and hopefully the right people will see it and see, oh yeah, it's a good track, good, well run, so give them a wee reward for that there, and hopefully get the World Championship over here. Be great to see, but I don't know what way it all works out in that regard, if it could ever come across the water.
And that's
Definitely.
one main problem, not without a severe package to get all the cars across, because that is the main sticking point of a lot of the drivers coming across, is that the fact of the matter is it's like £600-700, perhaps even £800 to get a transporter across the water, which, you know, for a one-off race is something a lot of the drivers, I mean, especially when I know that down our way, and then a lot of our drivers have decided perhaps not, purely because of the fact that driving up the Stranraer to get the ferry across is going to cost them a fortune before they even get the ferry. So, you know, things like that. Some useful advice from David Park again. He says, stow away in someone's van. Do you want a Cornish asylum seeker? I'll bring a pasty.
Just hide in the back of it.
Yeah, talking about food-wise.
You'll get over some way.
Well, like I say, with this whole Brexit thing at the moment, I don't think I'll be able to get back.
Here, now, we're part of the UK.
Yeah, it's okay.
We're part of the UK.
Part of the UK, but like I say, I mean, it could end up going the wrong way. That's one of my problems.
I'll have the same problem trying to get back to Scotland.
Yeah, indeed.
But you've got a plane booked. You're not relying on the boats.
No.
Might get a dinghy and do a Syrian, Tom. Sharon Budd's come back and says, I don't know who'd be more afraid, Kelvin or myself, but as for the ladies' race, at the present, I'm not taking part. Sharon, you know you want to. We've got to find her a car. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got to find her a car. She's very small, so we need a small car. If only Bill Batten was still racing, that would be the perfect car for her. So we're going to have to find a short bum for Miss Bloods to have as a car. So, ladies and gentlemen of South East Cornwall, and further afield, we need a car for Sharon Blood for the Benthans Lady Race. Northern Ireland's drivers travel by ferry every year to World Finals. There's no reason my maiden drivers can't do the same, says David Park. Good point, David Park.
Yeah,
that's a very good point.
Shout that. Yep.
Yes, I would personally like to see, and this is my argument on this one, is an overseas semi-final instead of a time trial. So get as many guys as you want. Come over. You come on over, lads. Overseas top 10. Go through and do it that way rather than the time trials, which are great fun, but it's usually whilst people are getting drunk. It's good fun. Yeah. So British Championship, first time in a while. Is there anything? Well, obviously you're keeping the plans a little bit close to your chest with regard to what's going to happen, but there's certainly plenty of entertainment, certainly fans, plenty of facilities there at Nuts to keep the casual fan occupied.
Of course, plenty to keep them occupied. They can visit the chip van, get something to keep them going, or if they're not a food person, they can always visit the bar, which is going to be active all day probably.
If Mr. Donnelly's there, yes, most definitely.
What are you trying to say?
Reputation pursuit.
Mr. Donnelly won't have time to spend any hours in the bar. He'll be busy.
He's on a busman's holiday, like he always does.
Yeah.
He can't turn out on a track without looking at a box.
Don't think I'll get out, to be honest.
Well, like I say, it's great that the situation is. We ought to talk to now like an Irish voice. So let's get one of those on the line now. We'll do that. First and foremost, we need to get some bills paid. Well, not bills paid, but certainly give you some information and adverts.
Attention. Our number one fan, Derek, has got his organ out. Want to give opinions on the burning matters of the day? Search on the Book of Faces for Stocks Radio Talking Shop, where you can discuss what's Gordon Moodley's favourite member of JLS, should Buxton hold the Scottish Championship, and what should be the optimum temperature of a faulty pie at Birmingham Wheels. Go to Facebook and get involved in the debate, and we'll read it on the show, if you're good enough. Right, put it away, Derek. That's enough of that.
Advertise on Stocks Radio. We have a rapidly growing listenership, and we want to make sure that there's an audience for your products. Stocks Radio has packages from adverts to features. Even so, you can sponsor a show for a week, to a month, to whatever. Contact us on Twitter @Stocks Radio. Alternatively, leave us a message on Facebook, facebook.com/Stocks Radio, or visit our website, stocksradio.co.uk. Stocks Radio, the voice of stock car racing.
Hello, I'm Barky Michelson, and I'm here to tell you about something. There comes a time when a racer finds it just too much to keep up with those young'uns. We here at the Stock Car Old Git Association racers think those nasty brisker guys are keeping the fun for themselves, and we've set up a racing club where others race, and we use exactly the same as what you do, only ours is better because we don't have things like crash barriers and proper tracks. So if you feel that you've been cast aside by age, join us and hear us out. Law says so, and get a 3 pen just for inquiry. And if you sign up, you'll get a 3 carriage clock as well.
Warning. Although the grass may be greener on the other side, it's certainly not for racing on. Your health is at risk if you race with the in-laws. Subject to status quo. Saga Racing. If you're over the hill, it's all downhill from here.
The noise. The action.
Imagine having control in your fingertips.
Imagine no more.
The chance to be a stock car god is here.
Race against 12 real drivers.
Race on 10 real tracks.
Win real titles.
Will 2016 be the year that you win the world title?
On the bus.
Or maybe somewhere else.
Strap in and get ready, because here comes the noise.
Stock Cars Unleashed.
Let loose for Android on the Google Play Store from March the 8th.
Those jolly good eggs at Stocks Radio need you. Yes, you, dear listener. We need reporters to give us interviews on the spot. Fancy yourself as next Steve Linfield? Commentary gigs are available. Or if you just want to get gummy on air, like my grill, we have that too. Just drop us a line at Stocks Radio, on Twitter, facebook.com/Stocks Radio, or indeed visit our site at stocksradio.co.uk. Okay, spiffing.
The F2 Show. Do you know in the time it's taken to listen to this show, Gordon Moody has won yet another final?
Yeah, you got to take me home tonight.
Well, I have been corrected. Welcome back to the F2 show, by the way. I have been corrected. It was the wrong fake. It wasn't Gavin that went rolling. Oh, no, it was Graham. Back in the day. RAF Fagin, as opposed to RAF Midland, as we had the other day. So, it's a very good evening to the present Irish champion, and that is Ryan McCrory. Good evening, Ryan.
Hello.
Hello. So, we are here in the situation at this precise moment in time that we have is that, obviously, we're going into the Wednesday before the Friday when you're defending your champion. How do you rate your chances of Ballymena?
We've struggled at Ballymena, to be honest, at the moment, but last year the Irish Open we went well, so we'll just see what happens. There's not really much you can plan for. It is what it is. Just got to go out there and try your best.
And of course, with Ballymena and of course the British Championship as well.
Yeah.
How's your form going into the championships?
We started out the year very poorly. The first 3 or 4 meetings were a bit atrocious, but the last 2 or 3 there we've sort of got our pace back, and we're heading into this weekend feeling pretty good about our chances.
Obviously, it is a group of qualifying heats. Obviously, you want to just get yourself up the motorway, so to speak, so you're a decent position for the grid. Are you going in and making room, or do you just pick off the pieces?
It depends what way it falls. If you get away off the front of the reds or something, you can try and go under the radar and get to the front. But if you're starting at the back, you're going to have to make room, aren't you?
So, how does it feel to have a major championship on one of your local tracks?
It's good. I think we deserve it. I mean, there's been a lot of good drivers coming out of the country for a long time. To never have a major here, it was a bit cruel. But we'll see. Hopefully, if all goes well this weekend, it's run well and everything, we'll maybe get more.
Well, like I say, I mean, there is always, as we just mentioned on the show before we come to yourself, and we were talking about potentially the World Final coming across to Ireland. Is that something that would prick up your ears and say, yes, please?
Yes, I think absolutely brilliant. The only problem, I've said, there's a lot of people here have said, we deserve one. It'd be cruel to ask so many people to actually get the boat and come across, but we have done it that many times. We're maybe due one. Maybe one in every 10 comes to here, and one in the next 10 goes to Holland or something. We make it a proper world championship. And then it's travelling a bit.
Because obviously Holland have their own kind of version of the World Final, which is the World Cup, obviously, which happens at Venray.
Yeah.
You obviously you've got your own kind of. You haven't got an equivalent of that, have you? Really?
No, not really. The Irish Close tends to get people, as a very important championship here, but doesn't get the same recognition, across the water because it's closed. All the guys get really into it over here because it's the points from the year made up to make the grid. Everyone gets pretty into it, but it wouldn't be as big as the Dutch World Cup and stuff.
So, looking at it then, just tell us how you is the Irish Open, which is the one that obviously gets tagged onto the Irish weekend every year.
Yes.
How has that come about? Is it just the two heats and it's on the final, or is it a standalone race?
I think it depends on how many cars is there for it. Sometimes we get the split sort of 2/3 format, and sometimes they just run it all in and points for the final. It really depends. They change it about a wee bit.
It's interesting to see because it's nice to see that we have this week that we have over in Ireland. It used to, obviously, once upon a time, it used to be 3 or 4 tracks. Well, it used to be 3 tracks, didn't it? It used to be Nuts, Agadowie, and yourselves, and obviously Ballymena. It's a very strong situation at the moment that you have got obviously 4 tracks over there. Obviously, it's a shame that you can only race at 2. But is that one of the sticking points at the moment over in Ireland that you can only race at the 2 tracks, or would you prefer that you're just happy with Nuts Corner and Ballymena?
Well, it's a very sort of a political situation, the racing over here, because there's the super stocks as well, and there wasn't a massive number of Formula 2s when they started super stocks, so that created a real split between everything. But I'm happy enough racing at Nuts Corner and Ballymena. It's enough. I wouldn't mind a run around Agadowie. I think it would be good, but Ballyroan doesn't really lend itself to compact racing, so too disappointed in missing out on that.
So, looking at this situation we have with the Irish Open at Ballymena, it's a good little order for the mainland drivers, isn't it, to come over and obviously challenge the locals, shall we say? Yeah.
No, it used to be a case of the mainland drivers came over and won, and the locals sort of played second fiddle. But the last couple of years, things have changed around. I mean, last year, I think the mainland drivers only won 1 heat out of all the races, which is incredible. It shows you the strength of our racing over here at the moment. We've got lots of top drivers.
I would say this now, the strength of the racing in Ireland, you only have to look at the weekend meetings that we have over here. I mean, we often see you guys down at Taunton. We also see you guys at Skeggy, your regulars, Cowan and Beef. The World Final, you're always there. It's always good to see. Yeah. And you're not a token entry anymore. You really are competitive. And,
well, not even just our red riffs, our mega quick. I mean, we've got people at Blue at the minute that are capable of winning races, and